Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel today and to race number 5 of the iRacing AI JKR. I don't know what to call this series championship. Before we get rolling here, I just want to say my usual spiel, but first I want to say unfortunately the round coming up at Watkins Glen as part of the undercard 46 hours of Watkins Glen for this GT4 series due to COVID has unfortunately had to be canceled. So all of a sudden this becomes race number 5 of 6, not of 7. So we have today here at Summit Point Raceway for race number 5 and then race number 6 at Laguna Seca in 2 weeks now, not in 1 week. So 2 weeks out from this race is Laguna Seca. So with that, this is obviously now race number 5 of 6. So if you haven't watched the races before this, the previous 4 in this series, Daytona through Sebring, it'll kind of help you set the stage for where we are today, how we got here, and so on. In addition to that, if you want to go back and watch the Formula V, Spec Racer Ford, Mazda Cup, and Formula 3 seasons that came before this GT4 season, make sure you go back and check those out to kind of be up to speed on how we got here, where we are, and kind of the backstory to all of this. So, as usual, if you enjoy this video today and enjoy this kind of content, make sure you drop a like and a subscription down below so you don't miss any of the action from the last 2 races of this series and then moving forward to future series as we keep rolling through this World Championship life career thing. Of course, as always as well, unfortunately, I've tried some things with my mic and they seem to be slightly better, but not fixed. A little bit more the same, unfortunately. So I hope it's not too bad of an issue and impacts viewing too much. So unfortunately, not a lot I can do about it this time. Yeah, so we come to this race, 2 races to go now with what, 6-point lead. So 6 or 8, I don't remember. I think it's 6. Anyways, so to Summit Point, one of my favorite racetracks, certainly probably my favorite road course on iRacing, and we've run very well here in the past in other series. So hopefully we can continue that here today. Continue to have a strong run and put a little bit of the icing on getting towards the end of this championship. So see what we can do here. Trying to thread the car through these corners here and come around. If you're not familiar with the procedure for these races, single Q lap, 1 lap, which will be coming up here shortly, and a 25-minute long race. So probably gonna use 4th gear through that last corner there. Seems to be a little bit too short of gearing in this car for that. So at Sebring, if you didn't watch, I won't spoil anything too much, but we didn't have the Q lap we wanted, even though we ran well. So we'll have to keep that in mind for hopefully having a little better Q lap here today. Alright. Just want to say to everybody as well, Happy New Year's. I know I don't often know exactly when these videos are going to come out, but I do know this one's going to come out right after New Year's. So, Happy New Year's to everybody. Hope you had a great holiday season, and looking forward to a great 2022. So, decent lap thus far. This is the trickier section here. The faster of a car you get, this is about as fast of a car as you'd want to take around here. I know Porsche Cup series like that occasionally come here, and it's a little bit of a disaster with how the track layout is here in the second half. So, just gotta be mindful of that, especially if we catch any traffic that's a little bit dangerous through there. Brakes nice and early. Car turned in well, a little bit of run out. Should be okay, and we'll see where this lap places us on the grid. 15-1. Looks to be decent for an early representation. We'll see how we cycle out here. Check the list. It looks like we're going to be on pole by 1.5 seconds. Wow, so another one of those races. We've seen it a couple times. We saw in Sebring, we were, 1.5 seconds off the pace. Obviously, a much longer lap there. Not one of my better Q laps, but 1.5 seconds up here today. So that's both encouraging and a little bit worrying about the field spread. Wow, 13-second field spread. That's a lot for a track this short, but whatever. Anyways, I'll double check here that the stream is up running correctly. It appears to be so. And we'll get underway here from Summit Point. So like I said, 25-minute race. Unfortunately, this has become race number 5 of 6 only on the season. So only one more at Laguna Seca after this one here today, and then that'll be a wrap on the season. We are getting some invitations to some different special events and such, so hopefully I'll be able to share some of that with you. If not in this race here, if we get some confirmation on some good opportunities coming up, then certainly after the season finale, I'll kind of preview what's coming next. So cool things in the works here as we get down, we get to the nitty gritty, we get to some of the bigger series, things like that. So hopefully it continues to be fun, a good show, and enjoyable. So again, as always, thank you all so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy this race today. This is your kind of thing. Make sure, like I said, you go like and subscribe down below so you don't miss any of the action either coming up or anything else I may post on this channel from real world racing or anything else that comes along in the life of mine that I live. So we'll see what we got here today. Nice qualifying effort delivered by Dale Jr. I've not seen him up in the top 4 this season. It's usually been myself, Nick, Richard, and Randy Cassidy, who's actually back in 6th. So a nice lap by Dave Kamer as well. Just something to keep in mind. All right. So again, just going to kind of monitor, take it a little bit easy. This race is a lot. We have a nice pace gap, obviously, so we're feeling good about that. A lot can go wrong. I said narrow track, especially through this last section of the S's here, can really go wrong. So we want to make sure we don't do that, drop a wheel, spin out, and have a big crash, especially early, anything like that. If we get a nice lead, we can probably recover, but if we get dropped all the way back through the whole field, have to pass every single car, especially if we get damaged, that's going to be a much tougher task. So should be on the lookout for that. I already said Happy New Year, so that's good. We already talked about there only being one more race after this, so we got that out of the way. So we can just focus on the race. So I guess lucky number 13 for Nick here next to us. He's been the best Porsche all year, probably been the second best car, second in the points, 6 points back, I believe. So this is a key matchup here. If we can win this race, even if he finishes second, we'll take 7 points into Laguna Seca. Which is, that's 7th place. Will do it for us. So that's just something to keep in mind here as we get ready to rock and roll. Ready to fire off here. We'll fire off probably early, just based on where start finish is. Good start there. We'll get rolling. Nice start. Nice no toe from him behind us, so we shouldn't have to defend or anything down in here. Should be able to be pretty smart and smooth. Use the usual brake marker here. Just about get the car stopped. A little bit of brake drag, but it's fine. It's going to be nice and patient here for a little bit. Get tires up temp. It looks like Dale Jr. is taking 3rd from Richard, so more point swings there. Just about get the thing turned in there. The tricky turn 2. A little bit off camber, and obviously the big sand trap on exit. The hairpin, nice and easy, nice and smooth up to 3rd. A little bit of a big slide right there on the exit. Just lighten up the rear wheels just a little bit. Make it through here the S's. Of course, with all my track time at this track, this has been a very good track to me and feel very comfortable. So expect that kind of pace gap. We definitely have everything we need here today. So run this thing all the way up to the top of 4th gear. A little bit of push there in the last corner, but lap 1 done and already nearly a 2.5 second lead there already. So great start for our crew. Great start for the Bill Auberlin Turner Motorsports BMW squad. Hopefully Cisco and Jimmy Broadbent can have good runs as well in the back of the field. Finishing top 25 hopefully for each of them. I have a little slide there, so I expect this to be one of those kind of boring races, hopefully. I say hopefully, I don't like boring races, but if all just goes to plan, we just run well, nice and smooth, and it'll allow us to, kind of chill out and have a nice, hopefully somewhat easy victory with not a lot of controversy, so that's the goal. A little bouncy there as we hit that inside curve through the fast right-hand kink. Just about get it through there. Didn't do any lap time math. 25 minutes and a minute 15 apiece. Do your math there, but maybe like 19 laps. That's not right. But that's probably about right. 19 or 20 laps, I guess. So quick math there in my head. We'll just roll with that. we get, like I said, whatever, 19 laps, that'll be good. Decided to go up to 5th there. I don't know why. I should be okay to just stay in 4th and bounce off the chip if we have to. 2 laps down, nearly 4-second gap now already, about a second and a half faster that previous lap. So definitely have plenty of pace in hand to have a nice smooth ride here today, as long as we don't have any issues in traffic or anything. So hopefully it's just kind of a nice race. Alright, so we can settle in here a little bit. Just tires are up to heat, focus on making good lap time, being consistent, hitting our marks. Feel good through there, pretty perfect corner, nice smooth exit. A little bit of brake there in the Pontiac, of course, my primary car. You don't need to brake over that little kink there. You're not going fast enough nearly. In really rare cases you will, just because of traffic or whatever, but even coolest of temperatures with the highest of grip for the previous corner, that doesn't do it. Obviously hotter, you're going slower coming to that point, so not quite the same gains this lap as we had in previous laps there, so it's going to be about 4.5 seconds or so. Yep, so about 1 second or so gap there that lap, maybe a little more. Sub 15 now, so really starting to display great laps at this point. Shouldn't be any drama here as long as we don't have any issues with any lap cars or I make mistakes, which is a pretty rare thing if you know me making a mistake, but as always, we've seen lap cars here can be quite interesting in this series, in this championship career mode style things, so we just gotta keep that in mind, look out for it, be ready for it ahead of time. That should help us. So. Fun car to drive. I told you last time at Sebring how don't have a lot of time in this car, but you know, not like I'm fast enough to compete with, you know, the guys that race this regularly, weekly, and have for, you know, over a year now since this category came to iRacing. But it's enjoyable. I can see, you know, a group of us that are similarly skilled and such. I think that would be actually a lot of fun at tracks like this. You could just have nice, clean racing, respectful racing. So many times you get in some of these official lobbies of popular cars, and people just, you know, barrel through everything. They don't race with any class or respect, just anticipating that it doesn't matter, because if you die, you die. But I still value the old style of iRacing back when I first joined, the first couple years, where it was such a smaller population base that it was, you know, about respect and clean racing and fundamentals and racecraft, all the proper things, where now you just plow through everybody and it's good and you win. Because there's another race in 15 minutes, so it's just on to the next if it doesn't go well. So just a racecraft thing that I prefer. I mentioned teammates earlier. Cisco not running well, currently 40th and last, about 35 seconds up the road. So Jimmy's having a little better go as I miss everything there. Drop a wheel, no 1X though, so it wasn't that bad. Cost us a little bit of time, but no harm. As we've talked about previously, just gotta kind of keep front tires on it through the middle part of the race. It's easy to attack a little bit too much and burn through those with over anxious braking, as well as kind of, you know, trying to get stopped and turn and do too much at once. And then obviously later in the race, the tail end, last 5 minutes, rear tires will start sliding around a little bit under braking, definitely under hard acceleration now, some of these corners. So just something we gotta keep in mind and be on top of. Again, there, those front tires going off just a little bit, so pushed wide. They're gonna have to back up some of these entries just a little bit to make sure we get the thing stopped and turned in. So just something to keep in mind, dropping a couple tenths, but still perfectly comfortable, almost 7 seconds in hand. So this next lap, I guess I'll shut up and we'll go for a little bit of a ride around Summit Point before we catch traffic. We got some clean air, and they all sit back and enjoy this because it's such a beautiful track. Obviously, I've had a lot of success here, so I'm a little biased, but it is my favorite track since my very first days on the sim. Really kind of fit my driving style for whatever reason. It's a little bit of a draft track. The draft on the front stretch can keep you in a battle, but not like you know, Daytona, or even to some extent like a Liyama or something, where if you're, you know, just hanging on, the draft can get you a victory if you're in the right spot. So really enjoy it. Technical, fast. Precision is key, especially for this section on a slower car. You can really find extra time versus the competition by being smart and smooth for here. So, all right, shades coming out. So I'll shut up here and take a lap around Summit Point. Solid lap there, not the best last corner. I feel like I slowed down a little bit too much there, but it's all good. So we do go with a PB there, sub 14.5, and we've really opened up now almost to 10 seconds. So definitely the start we wanted. Solid first third of the race or so here. And I'll just check the timer. Yep, just about a third of the way through. Coming up at the end of this lap to about 15 minutes left out of the 25. So happy with it, very happy with car performance, and again, maybe some of that is track familiarity. This track and Laguna and a little bit of Okayama tracks I've run probably significantly more on the roadside than any other just because of my frequency in the Pontiac. So this, keep in mind, this track in particular, but even Laguna and Okayama. And if that's just a common thing where bump is going to do and where it's going to throw the car and stuff like that, and that gives me even 2/10, that's really valuable. So what we got here, can kind of feel it out and continue to put down great lap times, and we should be all right. Of course, we have seen previously, if you remember back to the Mazda Cup series, that race came out around Thanksgiving, the Mazda Cup race here on the short circuit. Had that race well in hand with a 20-second margin, and then with like 2 laps to go, and the kink before the hairpin ran over the back of a lapped Mazda just because of weird AI shenanigan type things. So just got to keep that in mind. We got to be proactive and defensive because it can all go wrong so fast when the AI has decided they're going to AI. So just got to wear that and be ready for it and hope for the very best. So again, I'll say it again in case you've skipped towards the middle of this video because starts are boring, which I totally get. Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a good party, was safe, had a good Christmas season, since I don't think I mentioned that recently because not knowing exactly when this one will be, I don't know, 3rd or 4th of January. You'll know when it's here, obviously, when you're watching it. Excited for the new year. I've spoken a little bit about my impending retirement from the sim and sim racing, or maybe not entirely sim racing, but certainly iRacing. It'll have been by the time I hang it up in the fall, likely. Just over 9, pushing 9.5 years on iRacing. So, well, it's been great, and I've appreciated it and learned a lot, and obviously had a lot of success. So maybe it's time to do something different. So maybe we'll see me on Assetto Corsa more, or other things. I know I occasionally one with some friends, so I would say less than 10% of my sim time ever, probably less than 5%, has been spent on F1, Assetto Corsa, other sims like that. But who knows, maybe it's something I'll get into. Don't have to invest a whole bunch of more money or anything. We have all the stuff we want, and then when it's time to hang up that, maybe we'll get into puzzles or something, I don't know. But let me know if you'd like to see some Assetto Corsa. I've never streamed it, never recorded, never had it on my channel in any shape. I'm not really honestly that familiar with it and how it goes, how it works, and never progressed through that type of state in any of those games. But if you want to see some Formula 1 seasons or anything, I know that's been successful in the past for other YouTubers. Not that I'm a big time YouTuber or anything, but just as something fun, something to consider in the future. Maybe we'll hook up with that and do a online season with friends, maybe when the next F1 game comes or something. I don't know, but I'm getting too far ahead of myself here. We got, what, 9 months or so of sim racing left here on iRacing, so see what we end up with. And obviously this race, as we come up towards halfway, just past halfway there, this race more or less in hand, so we can kind of diverge off on some tangents a little bit here. And there we go, just about get turned in. I do really love this track. I know it's love it or hate it kind of track. I know it's one of those rookie tracks that maybe you have bad vibes from, whatever, or weren't that good at to start, and this was the first week you were on iRacing, and so you just kind of resented it, never got around to learning it and loving it. But I definitely love pretty much every part of this track, especially in my my specialty car engine. So I enjoyed it, and everything that we race here. It can be a challenge depending on the car, depending on the weather especially as well, but I really enjoy this track, and I'm going to miss it, honestly. When I do decide to hang it up for my racing, this is going to be one of those tracks that I might have to go visit someday in real life. It's a little bit different. There's fences down this front straightaway than there is in this thing. It's a little bit different, but I might have to go here and just kind of reminisce and take some laps in the real car. I think that'd be pretty cool. So, again, maybe another reason to so we'll see. We'll see if we can hit Summit Point for real. So, who knows? We are starting to catch this traffic now, so I'll focus back on this race. Past halfway here at this point, but see if we can kind of pick our way through this traffic. We have plenty of gap, 12.5 seconds, but it's going to be more of about not having any incidents or issues here with other drivers is the main thing. So, try and look for a way past. Nothing that time there, so we're going to hang out here behind Cisco. Try to pounce right there through that gap. Just a little bit of a gap we make it through. He made it in last place, unfortunately. Sneak up around the outside there. Get across over here, see if we can find the gap. We're going to defend right for this last corner. I guess hang around on the outside. We'll go around the outside of Lisa as well in the McLaren, so cost us a couple seconds there. 2 seconds, I'd say, but made it through, and obviously those first couple of cars that we get through a lot more difficult, take a lot longer, just because they're the slowest, so catch them in weird places, and it's not with the flow of the race. You kind of have to basically stop and wait for a good spot versus, if you're lapping 20th place car, even, wherever you catch it, you just pass it. So we'll see how that changes here as we move through the field. A little bit excessive curb there, but it's fine. We haven't lapped Tyler Hudson in a while, or at least I haven't noticed it and picked it out of the whole field, so interesting to see him back here. It looks like he's in the McLaren. Porsche of Great West there. Get through him. Not going to get through him by the entrance there, that corner in the brake zone, but just about self-clear there to get that one done. Our third teammate that we've seen here, Christian Challoner up ahead. Sneak the inside of Barry. Challoner up ahead in the other Turner Motorsports car, number 78, one of them. Good to see. This thing almost looks like a Ferrari with this paint job. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the hips on this car. Oh, we'll dart back to the left. I was going to go right, but just a big lift from Tyler there. But yeah, that car looked weird. From behind, we're going to get a big toe down the front here. Costing us around a second to lap here. This traffic is so far, so move back over once we get on the brakes there. Nice hard acceleration. Lauren moved just a little bit of a brake there to let us go through. Almost dropped the wheel. Double upshift there on accident. Just slipped my finger. Get that one done before the brake zone for the tricky turn 2. You want to be single file through here. It can be damning if you're not. It's been done a few times in the Pontiac, but usually it doesn't turn out pretty for at least one of you, maybe both. So that's another, I won't say, problem. Especially with equal car performance, it's a little bit different in like PCC, where you got the Mustangs coming through first most often, and even Mazda to an extent, straight line advantage over the Pontiac. But this is not an easy track to pass on. I mean, the Mustangs can do it up before the kink that run up through there. And the Mustangs can do it here quite easily, the Mazda as well. But give these guys a headlight flash, not that it matters at all. But sneak to the inside combs as well there. Jimmy Broadbent up at 29, top 30, so good so far, I guess. But I was saying, it's not an easy track to pass at. There's not a lot of space, especially other than this front straightaway. Obviously, a great opportunity for any car that's faster to go by, especially with a little bit of draft. But even when you don't have draft down that last straightaway before the final corner, and then even here and up to the kink, is okay for a faster car. But when you're racing equal or somewhat equal cars like this, at least, it can be very tricky. So you gotta keep in mind, be patient with, and pick your times, pick your spots, especially. So we've seen issues here even with me against these AIs in the past. So Johnny, they're gonna give us a little bit of a lane. We're not gonna be able to get that one done, but hopefully he yields for us here at some point. Put us in a really tricky spot, fighting us hard all the way through the S's, and this is what I'm talking about. It's get caught in a bad spot and you just lose so much time. There's really nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. So the rest of the field 10 seconds back, they are in this traffic now, at least the start of it. So as long as we don't have any big mistakes, they're not going to drive through all this traffic and run us down in 6 minutes. So looking and feeling pretty good here in this race so far. Lost a lot of time in these last 2 laps, second and a half or more each lap going by this traffic. So about what, 5 laps or so left here, give or take. So got a little bit of clean track here for a lap or so until we get to Neil, Stevie Reese, and Christopher Bell up ahead of us. They're tail end of the top 25. So catch them, hopefully have no drama, no issues. Car still feels good. Tires are hanging on a little bit. Again, maybe that's just a track time thing, and I know the best way to kind of conserve them, hang on, and places not to punish them and so on like this. So maybe that's a summit point thing and not reflecting my actually getting any better in this car as we go, which is fine. I'm not concerned with that. So getting down to the nitty-gritty, definitely they're in heavy traffic now, and we've already opened up like 3 or 4 seconds this lap alone. So there we go. Squirrel our way through that last corner there. Didn't get that very well at all, but it's all right. We're back, found a second and a half there, down sub 15 again. So traffic definitely proven to be a pretty big holdup here. Speaking of which, we're going to catch this 4-car blob right here. It's going to be in a pretty awkward spot, actually. So see what Stevie Reese decides to do here. See if we can jump to his left up here. Get through that one relatively easily, relatively normally. Gustafson up ahead here in 24th, leading this pack. See if we can jump in the inside here in the brake zone. We can. Around Neil. Try to get C-Bell here. Again, we're in the same place we were with John West just a few laps ago. Just tricky to be in the right spot at the right time there. We're going to get this one done a little bit earlier to help this right-hander onto this mini backstretch, I guess. So saved a little bit of time through there, probably lost over a second still. We'll see this next lap how it ends up. But again, in front of Gustafson, a little more clean track, so we should be able to make a little bit better lap time this next lap here. Give him a headlight flash. Lead is now up over 17 seconds, so they're still struggling. Nick's actually lost second place to Dale Jr. here. Felt like a big dive there on Gustafson, but it really wasn't. We had that one pretty well secured. We were within range, and he braked a little bit earlier, so. Another real big dive bomb there, just up ahead there, 4 cars. We can see that's 20th place at the lead here. At the head of that pack, I should say, so. We'll be able to lap half the field here today. That would be a nice touch for this nice race at my favorite track. Lap half the field in a 25-minute race. That's always beneficial. There we go. Big slide. Thing turned in there. Tires still feel pretty good. We're sliding a little bit with the rear end. That's expected, 20 minutes in a race like this, and pushing relatively hard for part of it, so not wild to expect that. 2.5 minutes here, probably 2 laps left. We're not going to get there in 5 seconds, so 2 laps left. We are going to have 20 laps here in this race. I said 19 or 20, so should be able to lap these 4 cars right in front of us here. Maybe a couple more. We'll see. Certainly these 4 in front of us here, only 2 seconds up the road, so 2 laps here. We'll see how this plays out. See if we can nail the brake zone down here and take a spot. No, we're not going to. We're going to go in there actually rather passively, stick the nose in, lay on Flint. Slight contact there, just front to right rear, just trying to make something happen. Yep, 1.5 seconds up the road. Bailey's gotten by Sean Nash for 20th, so should be able to lap, like I said, up to half the field here, 20th place. So there we go. Back this one off early and get a nice move done here into the hairpin on 2. Actually, I didn't mean to go up the inside of Nash quite like that, but that's how it worked out. Bailey's gonna give us a slight lift, but again, putting us on the wrong side of the racetrack here yet again, so. Get that one done fairly smoothly, not any major issues there. We'll check back, see where they're at again, 21 seconds, so definitely traffic hampering them, basically doubling the lead in like 6-7 laps, so. Final lap here. This is the way that the Mazda Cup race should have gone, nice and smooth through the traffic, and big margin how that race should have gone, but Ben did. Those things happen. We're down about 2 seconds here from where we need to be in the traffic, but not a problem. Oh, big off right there, Brian Rainville from 18th place. He's gonna rejoin here. Might just lose 1 spot. See if he can rejoin in front of that pack coming behind us. He can't. Rejoins. Is he going to be able to hold those positions? I guess he is. I thought it was going to be more, but it looked like he got blocked off there. Nick loses a spot to Chris, then Leon behind us. So I'm worrying about other people's racing now as we see Kevin Iannarelli and Dave well up the road. We're not going to be able to get to Jamie either in like 3 more corners. So Jamie's going to finish 18th. We're going to finish in first, obviously. So 18 cars on the lead lap. Pretty good result. Pretty good numbers for us here today. There we go. 1 more corner to go. We'll leave it in 4th gear, and 4th gear will take us all the way to start finish line. Just about up to the chip there. Nice smooth turn in. A little bit of curb. Use all the pavement on corner exit, and it's going to be another victory with 1 race to go in the season. So we'll grab another win here today at Summit Point. 15 dead on the final lap. We'll see what the margin of victory ends up being as we do our cool down lap here and wait for these results to go oficial. There we go. So yeah, I'm very happy, very proud of that one. That was just a great lap right there. 22-second margin of victory, and obviously losing another place. It looks like, yeah, so they lost 4 seconds just on that last lap alone, so 27 seconds is actually the margin. Randy was almost able to get by Nick as well, so we are actually 8 points ahead, so 8th or better next week at Laguna will do it for us. If we look at where 8th finished in this race, Tran was another, well, I guess Thomas was 9 seconds off 7th, so like more than half a lap back was 8th place. We should be able to do that at Laguna if we have no issues. We've been in this position before, so hopefully that is the case, and we can have a nice, clean, fun race there at Laguna, and maybe take a little bit of liberty to go attack for another win. So nice aggressive pit entry there for fun, and we'll head all the way down to the end of pit road. I think this is our final race here at Summit. I think that the only other things that are on the bookings are at other racetracks, so this might be our final trip in this kind of career mode thing to Summit Point. If that's the case, we did well here, so let's wait for these results to go up and check on the point standings and etc. before we bounce out here today. There goes the points. Results, I should say. The results going official. Switch this back over to the sponsors. As always, thanks so much to the sponsors for supporting me, supporting the stream, supporting the channel, everything I do on the sim. So it's been great. Yeah, 1 from pole. Didn't need to practice, blah, blah, blah. 1 race to go. So See what we can do. We'll check the point standings. We have not won every race of a season yet. We've won the championship in the previous 4 seasons. We had that one Mazda Cup race at Road America that my own mistake had got away from us. So if we're able to win Laguna, that would be 6 out of 6. So that would be the first time that we've done that, actually. So that would be kind of cool. Yeah, that would be something cool. So let's see. We got 8-point margin to Nick, 14 Dave Kamer, 18 Dale Jr. So pretty safe. See if we can finish this one out. Like I said, we only need to finish 8th, 8 points ahead of Nick. Shouldn't be a problem. So next time out will be the finale at Laguna Seca. I do want to say there's a rumor of a one-off Porsche Cup ride for a special event coming our way. So after the finale of this GT4 season, there's been rumors that we're going to end up in a Porsche Cup car for a one-off special event. So keep an eye on that. A little bit of a longer race that's going to be if we are invited to that. So that would be something to keep an eye out for. But yeah, we'll deal with that when we get there. So till next time, this has been, I don't even know what race number 5, the iRacing AI JKR. I don't know what to call this series championship. So yeah, that's about it. We'll come back, and next round up will be Laguna Seca. So thank you so much as always. I appreciate you stopping by. If you enjoyed it, click like and subscribe down below so you don't miss any of the action. But otherwise, until next time, bye.